No fishing today, guys, but I did want to show you this bait tank that I made. I've been on the hunt for some halibuts. How you guys doing this morning? I just wanted to take a little minute show you guys my live bait tank setup that I did. I had this old lunchbox. Igloo that I had, and I decided to go ahead and use it as a bait tank. The first thing I did was the lid. Well, I had done it before. It's filled with that gap sealer foam or whatever. I drilled some holes in it and filled it with foam in there, so it's all solid. So I did that first. It keeps everything a little bit colder like that. I put these rod holders on there. They come with bigger screws and smaller screws. So I used the smaller screw. That way you don't go all the way through the plastic. As you can see, I have these gray dots because I drilled it out first. I was thinking I was gonna have to drill it and then do something else, but you don't have to if you use the small screws. So I have this epoxy stuff on there to plug the holes up that I drilled and I messed up. Anyway, so I got 4 of these rod holders and they're pretty sturdy. I mean, they're not gonna come off. And I use my bungee system that comes with on the kayak, and I just strapped it in there, and then I put these pad eyes, and then I'll clip them on with like a bungee or something straight back to here, just for extra strength. So I've used this a couple times already. I got the bubble box air pump deal, and I just put a slice in the back there. Let me see if I pull it out. You can see the hole I drilled there and the tubes running in. Yeah, you can kind of see the hole I made right there. Big old gash. So yeah, then this takes 2 D batteries. Like I said, I've been out already like 3 trips with it, and the batteries are still good. I got another rod holder there, another pad eye there, another rod holder there. And I just drilled a hole, put the hose through there. I got a little extra weight on the rock, a little air. I put a little weight on it just to hold it down at the bottom. And I don't know, this is halfway filled right now, but I'll usually put like 5 gallons or whatever in there, just because I don't want the extra weight on the yak. And I've had probably about like, maybe like 4 Spanish Max, a couple of sardines. I've probably had about 10 baits in there at one time, and they've all survived a long time. And I like this idea because you can always throw all your extra stuff inside before like you're gonna load your kayak up, rod holders or whatever else you're gonna put on your kayak that could fit in there. And you could just haul the whole thing down to the bottom, down to the beach or whatever. So when I'm on the water, you're probably wondering, well, how do you fill it? Do you fill it before you go, or no? I fill it once I get on the water. I'll usually try to sabiki my bait, and then once I sabiki my bait, I'll use the first one. If I get more than one on the hook, then I'll go ahead and fill this up with water. But usually I'll get the first one and it's on the hook, it's going down for bait, and I'll continue to sabiki while I'm fishing the one live bait. But this is what I use. I just cut the top off of it because I found that if you leave the lid on, the little normal jug, how it is, when you dip it over the water to try to get water in it, it won't get it in very fast. So I cut the top. I still left the handle so I could hold on to it, so I could attach it to whatever I'm gonna tie off so it doesn't blow into the ocean. And then I'll just dip this down in the water, and then dump it in there. But these things work pretty good, man. And also I've got this thing wet, like bad, really wet. I mean, you can still see there's still water on it, and it still works. 3 times out. I mean, I think it was only like $12 for this thing. I think I got it on Amazon. But yeah, that's my homemade bait tank. Maybe the other thing I want to work on is, because this is an old lunchbox I was using. So the thing is this thing gets really loose, and one of my landings, this actually came off, was floating in the water. Luckily I was able to retrieve it. I guess I didn't have it snapped in all the way. If it's snapped in, it's not gonna come out. But if you leave it open like that and something happens, it's gone, That's the only thing. Maybe I was thinking maybe I could put some sort of strapping system on here somewhere, maybe like a plastic strap right here, or maybe over here, something to keep this secure on there, so I won't lose it. I think the sun hitting inside without this, it may make the water a little bit hotter. It did have the handle that went across, but I found it to be in the way of everything. If I have it forward, it wouldn't be able to have this. If I had it backwards, same thing. I wouldn't be able to have all this. It would have been hanging up on whatever I have in my rod holders. So that's why the handle's gone. But either way, you still have these to hold it up and all that. So that's good. But yeah, that's my homemade bait tank for my kayak. You guys take it and run with it, customize it however you prefer to do it. Some people I know are adding 2 of these, whatever works. I found that this one works pretty good. It's rated for up to 8 gallons. It can pump air for up to 8 gallons. So, I mean, it's not too bad for me. And then I'm just holding it down, dude, with the straps from the bungee, the normal bungee cord, and it's pretty solid. Ain't going nowhere. Ain't gonna go nowhere. All right, guys, that's my homemade bait tank. I'll leave you bubbling.